all of these geopolitical events seem not to matter at all when it comes to U.S. investors. They're largely ignoring them. I don't know how much longer that can go on. I'm fairly concerned about what's going on geopolitically. Both South Korea and France are very important U.S. allies, so it's not really encouraging for me as an investor to see instability there. What happens in France may not have, that much of an impact on the U.S. economy, but I think South Korea is much more important. It's a trading partner, a big trading partner, and we rely on South Korea for a lot of technology gadgets. So what's going on there is a little bit surprising, and I'm hoping that things calm down. So far, U.S. investors are ignoring it. As far as taking this into consideration for asset allocation decisions, what I've learned over the past few years is that even if you have perfect information about what's going to happen in the future geopolitically, you could still end up making the wrong investment decision. So if you go back to that pandemic that we had, if you knew that that was going to happen, if you knew that Russia was going to invade Ukraine, if you knew Hamas would invade Israel, you probably would have gotten out of stocks and bought oil. And as we've seen, the stock market has gone through the roof. It's at all-time highs, and oil prices have gone down. So I would not advise making any dramatic changes to your portfolio based on what's going on right now in South Korea or France.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because it reminds me of a conversation I heard stateside with our colleague speaking to Mohammed Al-Arian about his sort of assessment of the global economy right now, the good being the US, the bad being China, the ugly being Europe. And so the US, sort of, as you've alluded to as well, keeps to marching, to the beat of its own drum, really. I mean, what do you think is going to be, do you think this theme, is what I'm trying to get at, is likely to continue as we go into 2025 then?
Well, as I said earlier, I don't think the stock market will continue rallying at the same pace it's been rallying. I am expecting it to, sell off a bit. But as far as these geopolitical events go, I think investors are really more focused on corporate earnings and interest rates. And, corporate earnings have been strong for the most part, with some exceptions. And interest rates are still very low. We did see the long end of the yield curve go up quite a bit, but then it came back down again. So I think it's going to take, some weaker earnings and perhaps higher long-term interest rates to cause U.S. investors to, seriously think about selling stocks.